I just would like to compliment the witness. I think you're doing very well. And as you can see, this is a bit of a tough place. Do you agree with Justice Kavanaugh that Roe v. Wade is settled as a precedent? And will you, like Justice Barrett, commit to obey all the rules of stare decisis in cases related to the issue of abortion? End quote.
I do agree with both Justice Kavanaugh and Justice Barrett on this issue. Roe and Casey are the settled law of the Supreme Court concerning the right to terminate a woman's pregnancy. They have established a framework that the court has reaffirmed, and in order to revisit, as Justice Barrett said, the Supreme Court looks at various factors because stare decisis is a very important principle. It provides and establishes predictability, stability. It also serves as a restraint in this way on the exercise of judicial authority, because the court looks at whether or not precedents are relied upon, whether they're workable, in addition to whether or not they're wrong, and other factors as well. So I agree with both of those statements that you read.
Well, let me add one to that, and then we'll move on. Does Roe v. Wade have the status of being a case that is a super precedent? And what other Supreme Court cases do you believe have that status?
All Supreme Court cases are precedential, they're binding, and their principles and their rulings have to be followed. Roe and Casey, as you say, have been reaffirmed by the court and have been relied upon. And reliance is one of the factors that the court considers when it seeks to revisit, or when it's asked to revisit a precedent. And in all cases, the precedents of the Supreme Court would have to be reviewed pursuant to those factors, because stare decisis is very important.
In the D.C. Circuit, you're drafting those precedents. Your experience as a trial judge is one of your most significant assets. And I just want to add a personal comment. This is a tough place, and you are handling it very well. And I appreciate your directness and think that's important. Why gender balance is important on our nation's courts. You would join Justices Sotomayor, Kagan, and Barrett on the bench. This would be the nearest we have ever come to gender equity on the Supreme Court. There would be 4 women on a court with 9 justices. So I have my own thoughts about why gender balance is important on our nation's courts. But I'd really like you to tell us all, what are your thoughts on what it means for our country to have women serve in meaningful numbers on the federal bench, and in particular, what it would mean to have 4 women serving on the Supreme Court for the first time in history?
I think it's extremely meaningful. One of the things that having diverse members of the court does is it provides for the opportunity for role models. Since I was nominated to this position, I have received so many notes and letters and photos from little girls around the country who tell me that they are so excited for this opportunity and that they have thought about the law in new ways because I am a woman, because I am a Black woman. All of those things, people have said, have been really meaningful to them. And we want, I think, as a country, for everyone to believe that they can do things like sit on the Supreme Court. And so having meaningful numbers of women and people of color, I think, matters. I also think that it supports public confidence in the judiciary when you have different people, because we have such a diverse society.